Third down and 5 from the 25. Terrell this time on the pitch right to Lubers. Breaks a tackle a second. He's got a first down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Taking up 7. Drew Okeson is there to make the play. And certainly Lubers was in trouble in the backfield, but the Beat Diggers let him off the hook.
Yep, they hit him. They had the initial pop there, but there was no wrapping up, and that's what they have to do. They have to wrap up and hold on. And then if they can't bring him to the turf, at least hold on until somebody else can come in and help him out.
First down and 10 from the Brush 18. 3:05 to go in the fourth quarter. The handoff to Spencer. He's upended by Adam Waters. Man, what a play by Waters. He was unblocked and just got him right around that ankle, and Spencer went down right there for no gain.
Tell you what, if you don't think Adam Waters is quick out of his stance, you got another thing coming, because he was in the backfield lickety-split after they snapped the ball that time.
Boy, you can say that again. Second down and 10 with the ball at the 18-yard line. This is now a 7-minute drive for Yuma, and they're down 22-10. Terrell is going to hand it off to Spencer right up the gut, but hanging on to him and bringing him down. Let's see who that was at the bottom of the pile. A gain of about a yard in the play. That was Gare Rudnick. And that'll be third down and around 9 at the 17-yard line. 16th play of the drive. And Yuma's running their offense, Dave, but it's probably not going to be enough to be able to come back, because now we are under 2 minutes to go in the game. Third and 9 from the 18. Will Terrell throw the football, looking to throw. Heaves it down the right sideline. It's incomplete. Yanez got spun around in the end zone by no Beat Digger. I think he just did that on his own, but the ball was in the wrong side of Yanez. He was looking on the outside, the right shoulder, and it was not even close to that left shoulder.
Yeah, that's kind of pass that needs to be. That's like the fade pass that you see in the pros a lot, where they got to throw it into the corner of the end zone on the outside, and he just threw it too far on the inside.
Yuma takes a timeout, 1:50 to go. Premier Farm Credit is committed to serving those in production ag. Premier Farm Credit, the gold standard in ag lending. And stop by and see Tim Weimer about all of your title needs at Northern Colorado Title in Fort Morgan. Well, the Beat Diggers have 1:50 to go. And if they stop Yuma right here, they'll guarantee themselves a victory.
No, this is a great game for the Diggers to prepare themselves for the postseason, though, because it was one of those where it was frustrating, and there was a lot of times where they could have put their heads down and maybe, let themselves get out of the mental game and start worrying about, a lot of other things besides just playing football. And it looked like they were kind of starting to do that for a while when you see guys out there with their hands on their knees and sometimes sitting on the ground after play's over for quite a while. You could tell that they were kind of losing their mental game, but they've got it back. They played the second half a lot better, and they've played a lot more focused football.
This is the big play now for the Indians. 4th down and 9 from the 17-yard line. With 1:50 to go in the game, 2 receivers out to the left. Andrew Terrell, the junior quarterback, rolling to his left. Pressure coming. Heaves it down the left sideline. Drew Okeson is out there. The leap, and it's incomplete. Okeson was out there defending Lucas Lubers in the left corner of the end zone, and the Beat Diggers take over at their own 17. And what a drive by Yuma. 17 plays, and they chewed up nearly 8 minutes of clock, 7 minutes and 52 seconds to be exact, and they do not score, Dave.
But you know what? Half of that doesn't even happen if Brush doesn't have an unsportsmanlike penalty against them right there in the middle of the field that gives Yuma the first down that they needed to get some momentum going to continue that drive.
The Indians, I believe, still have a couple of timeouts remaining. They've got it at their own 17. Brush with 1:43 to go in the game. Up by a dozen. Spooner's in motion to the left. And Nick Greitz will hand it off to Quinlan, hit right after gaining maybe half a yard. Timeout Yuma. Derlin makes the tackle along with Darren Spencer. 2nd down and 9. So 1 TL remaining for the Indians. Well, stop and shop the cart at your hometown grocery store, featuring Morgan County's largest variety. That, of course, is the Brush grocery cart. And for all of your auto supply needs, stop by Central Auto Parts in Fort Morgan. Minute 38 remaining. 2nd down and 9 when the Beat Diggers get back on offense. They are on offense, but when this timeout concludes, at their own 18-yard line. I'll tell you what, Dave, it's quite evident this Yuma football team is going to be a lot better now than they were at the beginning of the year because they were learning a new system. And this will end up being, unless the Beat Diggers break off a big one, this will end up being Brush's shortest margin of victory this year.
Yep, Yuma came in and played tough, but, they did the one thing that I think a lot of teams are going to have to do to beat Brush, and that's keep the offense off the field. And Yuma, they controlled the possession.
They certainly did. 2nd down and 9 from just shy of the 18. There's the give to Quinlan, and he tries to spin out of a tackle unsuccessfully. He's down to the 19-yard line. And Derek Spencer makes the tackle. Will give him a couple of yards, just shy of the 20. Yuma calls their 3rd and final timeout with 1:33 to go. And talk about a quick-moving football game. We'll be finished with this one in under 2 hours. And that's what happens when you have two ball-controlled teams. And how ironic, Dave, that you have two ball-controlled teams, and yet the Beat Diggers scored a touchdown in 9 seconds and one in 12 seconds. It had nothing to do with what really was emblematic of the game, which was ball control in terms of Brush's scoring. And their other drive was, I think, just less than 4 minutes in time amassed in that fourth quarter, early in this quarter. And we know what normally happens on a 3rd and 7 like this late in the game. And that would be the bootleg. See if that's going to be the case here. Their own 20-yard line. Dreitz on the bootleg right, slips out of a tackle looking for a block, and he's going to be down. He loses a yard, maybe 2. Zach Diaz made an excellent play to the 19-yard line. Now the Beat Diggers will take up the entire play clock since Yuma cannot stop it, but they'll have to punt. And Brush has got to make sure they block here. It'll be under a minute to go before the Beat Diggers have to snap the football. In fact, I think they're going to run it all the way down and call timeout. And then the Beat Diggers will punt it. Now, once they get to 2 or 1 second to go on the play clock, that'll be the case, and the Beat Diggers do call a timeout with 44 seconds to go. And Dave, Yuma had Zach Diaz back to receive, but if I'm Yuma at this point, why have anybody back?
Yeah, they ought to be just sending everybody and trying to block this thing. And if they could block it, and if they could get lucky and pick that thing up and put it in the end zone on the same play, this game's far from being over.
Not over, you're right. That's about the only shot they have. If they're set up for a return, unless they break it, which is highly doubtful considering the Brush special teams on punt return coverage has been very good this year, they'll have no other shot to get into the end zone. So let's see if the Beat Diggers can take care of business on special teams. Stay tuned for the Ebenezer Lutheran Care Center Beat Digger postgame show. Nick Dreitz at his own 7. Zach Diaz at the Beat Digger 45. You've got everybody but one at the line of scrimmage. There's the snap. They're coming, and Dreitz gets it off high and short. The good thing about this, it's going to roll for a while, Dave, and then the clock will continue to tick, and it's going to be downed at the 45-yard line. So that play took about 12 seconds. Anytime you've got a punt of 26 yards and it takes 12 seconds, that's valuable for Brush.
Smart thing there for the Brush kids was they went down there and stood right there by the football, but they didn't bend down to pick it up. They just let the clock keep ticking if the referees weren't going to blow the whistle. So, a lot of savvy play there by the Diggers.
Well, this will be undoubtedly a passing situation for Yuma on 1st and 10 from the Brush 45. Terrell will pitch it to Lubers. He's going to throw the football down the middle, and that is picked off picked off at the 32-yard line by Rafael Munoz, make it Gare Rudnick, and he's tackled at the 48-yard line, a return of 16. And the Beat Diggers have come up with another turnover in this game, Dave, and I believe they forced, about 4 turnovers?
Yeah, they've had 2 interceptions and 2 fumble recoveries, so just a great job on defense again by Brush. You were talking about drives. Really the only drive that amounted to anything for Yuma was resulted in a field goal. And outside of that, this Brush defense has just been really solid again tonight.
The return of 16 yards to the 48-yard line. This will officially eliminate Yuma from playoff competition. And on one knee goes Nick Greitz, and that'll be it. The Brush Beat Diggers have won the game tonight over the Yuma Indians. They conclude the regular season with a 9-0 record, 22-10 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.